Hello and welcome, my astrology friends. Welcome to a little video regarding the ingress of Saturn into Aries, which happens on May the 25th of this year. Now, Saturn has a cycle of about 29 years and 4 months. So if we think back last time that Saturn was in Aries around about 1996, this gives us an indication of what to expect. Now, we've had, over the last 2.5 years, since March 2023, we've had Saturn in Pisces. And Pisces is at the end of the astrological wheel. And so the more nebulous parts of society, the aspects of the ambiguous, or stuff that's to do with how we escape from society or escape from the pressures of life, have been try to put structure on it, hence Saturn transiting through Pisces. And this has been quite difficult because whenever you get Saturn, you get limitations. You get Saturn, self-discipline, hard work, the ability to look at the long game rather than the short, and also the rules and regulations that we all have to live through in society. And this is really kind of important, and the aspect of Saturn is wherever Saturn transits gives you an idea as a society where we're going to have to work and really put self-discipline on ourselves. Now, Aries is the first sign of the astrological wheel. It is all about initiation, taking the initiative and being bold and courageous. Now, that can mean with lots of things on the practical level, like, applying for a job, or embarking on a new relationship, or purchasing a property. We have to initiate and get things moving in order for things to happen. And so with the Aries energy, we need to be bold, we need to be courageous, we need to have a lot of self-belief. And there is an element of recklessness and impulsiveness. The tarot card, the Fool, is quite Aryan in its energy. I know that the Emperor is the card for Aries, but I always think that the Fool just about to come off the cliff edge and not looking is very Aries energy. It's about being slightly careless in some ways, and we need to be bold at times in life or we just stagnate. And so the Aries energy talks to us in that way. But when we're working with Saturn, then Saturn wants to limit that and put some regulations and structure on the way that we approach being bold. So we can imagine that this particular energy is going to work really in a quite contradictive way, because we've got the boldness of Aries and we've got the rules and regulations of Saturn. However, if we think about it, Aries is a cardinal sign and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign. So the cardinal quality, Saturn actually can work with. It's about working and being self-disciplined, being independent, and going forth and conquering those things that we have as a collective have never done before. And this brings into mind that we live on this planet Earth, and maybe this is a period when we look beyond that and what we can do on the outside, for the good or the bad doesn't, that's up to what happens and the people who embark on those journeys. But certainly it's about being a bit more, thinking much bigger in terms of concepts for our society and how we're going to move forward. And I think for all of us, there is a sense with this energy of Saturn going into Aries of a new start in how we structure our lives and how we move forward. And it's having that vision and being able to go, right, this is what I want to achieve and this is how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put my best foot forward to achieve that. Now, don't forget also that we've got Neptune in Aries as well now. That went in around about March the 31st. So we've got the energy of Neptune, which is very nebulous, very, very Piscean in its nature, now going into this cardinal quality of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. We can begin to see that there's seeds of change that's starting to happen, which means that leaders will come to the surface over the next 2.5 years that will be very, very direct, that will be very bold in the way that they convey and communicate their messages and their vision for the future. There's no grey areas with Aries, and certainly Saturn doesn't like the grey areas either. We've got the energy of being bold and conquering and independent in spirit, but also putting firm foundations for the future that are going to stay for the next 29 years. This is about going forth and marking our territory and also building on that new territory, whatever that may be. This is Aries and Saturn working together. On the flip side of that, of course, what can happen is that we get a certain amount of tension within those combination of Aries and Saturn that can bring about problems and issues to do with countries or individuals being too independent and not listening and not compromising and becoming very dogmatic and stuck in the mud. And therefore that can lead to its own problems. This is an energy that is going to really kind of whip us into this kind of frenzy of independence and independent thinking. And also being defensive over what is ours coming in to this. This is ours, therefore we want to defend it. This is far removed from the nebulous energy of Pisces, where everything's drifted a little bit and merged and there's no boundaries. Aries wants boundaries, it wants a direction. We walk this way and this is the way that we walk. You know, there's no ambiguity there. So what happens is that on May the 25th, Saturn ingresses into Aries. It'll be there till around about the 1st of September when it will retrograde back into Pisces, and then it will re-enter Aries in mid-February 2026, where it will remain for a 2.5-year cycle. So we get a flavour over the summer of this Aries energy. And, you know, as I always say, you get a flavour just before the ingress of one planet into another sign starts to manifest. And that's what we've got coming towards us. This energy of directness, almost assertiveness, and putting very, very strict boundaries coming into place. We're getting it now at the start. And as it ingresses, we get more of it. It starts to become policies and in place. It's exciting. I'm excited about this combination. But also, in order for all of you to get the best out of this, is to take a look at your own life and what you need to be bold with. What do you need to go forth and conquer? What do you need to put structure that is you actually going, I'm going to be confident and have my own self-belief to start this up? Because Aries is all about starting things up. And I tell you, if you're looking at starting a new business, this is a great time to do it. Being independent, this is a great time to do it. This is not a good time to remain where you've been for the last couple of years and to remain stuck. Because the flow of energy, the planetary energy of Saturn in Aries wants you to move forward with purpose, determination, and self-discipline. Roll on, May the 25th. If you like this video, press the like button and please become a subscriber. It all helps, and thank you for watching.